But the reason why I want to share this story is because of what he said after that. I asked him, like, why did you choose to work with me? Like, there are hundreds of other people out there. You've watched me grow, right? You know that I haven't been doing this for long. Like, you also know that you're my first client. Like, why did you choose to work with me aside from everybody else who already has successful businesses? And what he said was, welcome back to 0 to 10K, the 25-part series and how to make $10,000. We are on day 13, and for today, I am so excited because we are really diving deep into what sets you apart from everybody else that is doing the exact same thing as you are. Now, yesterday for day 12, we went through and we identified your specialized skill, really got clear in what you're really good at, what you enjoy to do, and then of course, demand in the marketplace. Because as I know, as you know now, as everybody knows, if there is demand in the marketplace, and if we're just so passionate and we're so good at what we do, there's always money out there, okay? There is always money that flows to us. So for today, this is kind of like my secret sauce that really helps people just thrive when it comes to their business and building a brand on social media. Now, before we get into, getting clear in what really sets you apart, I want to share a quick story with you. When I started my brand on social media, this was back in like 2018, 2019. I was 19 years old and I was just posting content online and I was sharing, tips and like motivation, inspirational quotes. And I was basically just like documenting my story online. I was in college. I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I grew an audience online simply by sharing, hey, this is what I'm doing today. These are some lessons that I learned, blah, 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 blah. And I would always share my audience and tell them, hey, I want to go do this thing, watch me do it. And back then I would do like crazy stuff, right? I really wanted to expand myself as a person. So I would always do things that would push myself outside of my comfort zone. I remember one year I did like a kindness challenge where every single day I went up to like strangers and gave them like flowers or like volunteered at like a nursing home. And that really just inspired my audience to do bigger things and just expand and become better versions of themselves. Now, as I was doing this, my brand basically evolved, okay? I was known as that college entrepreneur, and my last year of college, I realized that people started to come to me asking for help in how are you growing an audience on social media? How are you so confident when it comes to speaking on camera and honestly just like putting yourself out there? How are you reaching goals after goals after goals? Like I wrote and published a book. I have it right back here. In 30 days. Okay, I remember I set the goal to write and publish a book that I also wanted to hit Amazon bestseller for, and I did it all in 30 days and I brought my audience with me. Like I was doing things that were like crazy and things that would take people years to do, but I was doing it in a very short amount of time. So what happened was people started to come to me asking for help on all of these different things. Like, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? Now, for me, I basically built a brand online without really knowing it. And I remember my last year of college, I was 21 years old and I'm like, okay, I know when I graduate college, I'm not going to work a job. Okay, so that means I need to figure out a business that I can basically start to run, get paid for, and of course, help people with, right? That was my main goal and that was my intention. People wanted to learn this from me. They basically wanted to learn how to build a brand on social media. So what I did was I came up with like a coaching package. So it's basically like one-on-one. I was going to be doing one-on-one calls with people and just go through like them as a person and go through what their goals are, go through how to be more confident, go through how to actually put themselves out there, how to start to create content on social media. And I believe this was so long ago. I think it was like a 6-week one-on-one package. And I remember I priced it at $2,000. Now, some people, they might be like, are you out of your mind? $2,000, you're just getting started. You've never sold anything like that online. But I remember for me, I was like, it is worth $2,000 because a lot of the things that I had done up until then was worth so much more. I had written a book. I had spoken on TEDx stages. I was featured in media publications, right? So I had done things that people would pay thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for to learn from. So for me, I'm like, okay, my value is worth way more than just charging a few $100s per session. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to come up with this 6-week program, one-on-one coaching, and it's going to be $2,000. Okay. So what I did was I basically made a post on social media. I'm like, hey guys, since all of you guys are asking for this thing, I'm coming out with a 6-week one-on-one program where I'm going to help you build your brand. Send me a message if you're interested. And you'll never guess what happened. Okay, I was like completely shocked when it happened. I had one person reach out in the DMs and he's like, hey, like, I've been following you for so long, like honestly since day one when you started your brand on social media, and I'm interested. And I like knew him. I had never talked to him before, but he always engaged on my stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's get on a call. Let's make sure it's like a good fit. And I got on that call. It was the first time I had ever done like a sales call. I didn't even know how to do a sales call. So I basically just got on there and I just talked to him about the offer. I'm like, okay, like this is what it is. Tell me a little bit about like what you need help with, because I also wanted to make sure, like, of course, I was bringing on clients that I could actually help. And we went through the call, and of course, towards the end, he asks me, like, okay, this all sounds good. I want in. What's the price? Now, little old me back then, remember, I was really like scared. I was nervous. I thought I was bad at sales, but I knew that I had the value. So I was like, it's $2,000. Like, I'm pretty sure I like stutter. I was like, it's $2,000, right? It's a really good price. And I just start to talk, right? Right. It's like when we say something, we get nervous and we just like keep talking, right? But the price is $2,000. And I said that. And the next thing he said was, let's do it. I'm in. And that was my first ever client that I got on social media with my brand. A $2,000 client. Until this day, he still follows me. He still roots for me. He's like still in my audience and in my community. But the reason why I want to share this story is because of what he said after that. I asked him, like, why did you choose to work with me? Like, there are hundreds of other people out there. You've watched me grow, right? You know that I haven't been doing this for long. Like, you also know that you're my first client. Like, why did you choose to work with me aside from everybody else who already has successful businesses? And what he said was, Sabah, I have seen you do it for yourself. I have seen you show up every single day on social media. I have seen you grow your confidence, and I have also seen how much you care about other people. That is the type of person I want to work with. And in that moment, I realized that was my differentiating factor, that I not only embodied what I preached, but I could actually relate to people. Like, when people meet me in person, and I've met some of you guys before, they're like, oh my gosh, you're the exact same person. Like, you're so inspiring online, but you're just as inspiring offline. Like, for me, the entire reason why I built my business, why I built my brand, was to actually help people, right? So people can see that inside of me. So for you, when you're trying to identify what really sets you apart, who are you? What is your soul? Like, what are you actually meant to do in this world? And this comes down to identifying your values and beliefs. The same reason why you chose your partner, intimate relationships, the same reason why you choose friendships, the same reason why you even choose careers. It's because it aligns with your values and beliefs. So what's really going to set you apart is what you actually believe in and what you actually value. Now, the past 2 videos, we talked a lot about big brands, right? Like Louis Vuitton, Nike, Disney, Starbucks, all the things. And they all have different values that they align their products with. And in thus, they attract clients that also align with those values. And at the same time, repel people that do not align with those values. Because one thing we want to keep in mind when we're building a personal brand in a business, we're not attracting everybody. We're only attracting people that align with our values and our beliefs. Because once again, although there might be 100 purses or 100 coffee drinks out there, there is only one of you, and there is only one value and belief that you hold that nobody else can do. So let's get into how to actually get clarity in your values and your beliefs so you know what actually sets yourself apart. So for me, for an example, I teach people how to build profitable personal brands on social media. Build a brand, create a product, sell money, live an unforgettable life. That's what I am known for. That is what I'm really good at. Now, here is a list of my values. We have faith, simplicity, innovation, authenticity, and joy. Now, for me, one main thing that you guys probably already know since you have been watching this series is faith. Like, I genuinely believe that what I am doing is meant for me. I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I believe in attraction. That's why my entire brand is all about personal branding, manifestation, and attraction. If I have faith in something, it is going to work for me. That is a big part of my brand because that is something that I value. If you think about it, you attract it. If you don't, you repel it. It's simple, right? And then another thing is simplicity. I don't overcomplicate anything. I know there are some people out there who have like a 20-step process only for their email list, right? Like they make things so complicated, but that works for them because that is what they're doing. For me, it's not. Like the simpler, the better. That is something that I really value. And then authenticity. The reason why yesterday I went through and I had you list out what you're really good at and what you like is because you can't build a brand, you can't build a business, you can't build a life based on something that's not real and something that you don't enjoy, right? Like your personal brand will not work if you're trying to be fake or act like somebody else, right? So authenticity is the key to success here. And that is a big value that I have. And then we have innovation. Like something that I love to do is I love to create. I love to innovate and take things that are good and make them better. Like I love to come up with new ideas. And not only is that just like a value for myself, but that's something that I also like have in my other parts of my life, right? So even in my like intimate relationship, my boyfriend Andy, he knows that. He knows I like big things. He knows I'm very extra. He knows to pay attention to the small details because like I love creation, right? So for me, that is a value that I really love. So when I attract people to my audience, to my follower base, and to like my membership and to different things that I'm selling, they know that I am always creating something new and different because I'm an innovator. And lastly, joy. If I'm not having fun, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That is something that I value. I believe you should always be having fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not aligned with what you are doing. Okay, so these are some values that my audience knows about me. And if they don't align with the values, they'll go to somebody else, and that is what we want. We want to attract people that align with the values that we have. Now, with values come certain beliefs. Now, I wrote a few down here that I want to share with you that I believe in. Number one, you don't have to work harder to make more money. Like, you don't have to hustle yourself to the ground, burn yourself out, work 24/7 to make more money. I do not believe that's true. It's just not, okay? And if you guys watched the first portion of this series, you know why that is true. Okay, the simpler the business model, the easier to scale. That's a value, simplicity, and that comes into a belief. Clarity comes from action, not thought. The quicker you take action, the clearer you'll become. This is something I tell my audience and my clients all the time. You will not become clear if you sit and thought. You will become clear when it comes to action. That is a big belief that I have. Those connected to their work deeper than just money will win, right? So those people, once again, that are authentic to themselves, that are doing things that they're actually passionate about, they will make the most money versus somebody who is just chasing the money, but they don't actually even love what they're doing. That's what I believe in. And then it's much easier to attract people to you versus chase them. Hashtag attraction. Hashtag faith. Okay, so all of like my beliefs, and I have so many more, those are just some that align with my values. That is what sets me apart. That is why people choose to work with me versus somebody else out there. It's not because of what I'm actually teaching them. It is based on my values and my beliefs. Okay, so for today, I want you guys to write down your list of values and your list of beliefs. And that is what is going to set you apart. And this is not something you're curating. This is not something that you're creating out of thin air. This is something that you already value, something that you already believe in alignment, once again, with your specialized skill and the niche that you picked out for yourself. So I want you guys to comment below one value and one belief that you have. Okay, share it with us, because this is my favorite part. I love to see what you guys are about. I love to see you. Okay, I don't want to see some fake person. I want to see you. Okay, and this is how people will really get to know you. This is how people will land on your profile and be like, oh my gosh, I love her. Oh my gosh, I love him. He is so good at what he does. It is because of this piece. Okay, so do not bypass it. Do this work and comment below and share at least one value and one belief with us. So that is all for today. I know this was a big one, but stay tuned, because tomorrow we are going into day 14 and we are going to outline our brand story. This is going to be so fun. I am so excited for it, okay? And as always, if you guys need to catch up with any of the videos, I'm going to link the playlist right here, so that way you can either rewatch any of them or watch any of the ones that you missed. That's all for today. I will see you guys tomorrow, and until then, make sure that you stay unforgettable.